It is unbelievable. People are going to the FBI 25 years ago and testifying to the FBI with polygraphs and the rest that Donald Trump, the President of the United States, was raping young girls and smacking them across the face because one of them protested that he hadn't worn protection. He slapped her on the face and said, "You'll have to get an abortion," and he threw money at her for the abortion. This is the man on whom they lay hands. These evangelical maniacs think he's the Son of Christ. Well, he is actually the Son of Christ. His father was called Christ.
Jeffrey Epstein is dead, but his shadow is very much alive. Years after his mysterious death, his name still shakes the world. His network still haunts the powerful, and his secrets continue to surface. Epstein was not just a criminal. He was one of the most controversial and dangerous power brokers of our time. A man who moved effortlessly among billionaires, former presidents, intelligence figures, and global elites. From Bill Clinton to Ehud Barak, from Wall Street tycoons to Silicon Valley giants, his contact list read like a map of global influence. How deep did this network really go? And who else is still hiding in the shadows?
I'll go straight into it because, well, I'd need 3 times the length of this monologue even to begin to do justice to the explosion of feces, human, political feces, which has occurred since the dropping of not 3 million, they lied about that as they're lying about everything else, but 2,700,000 pages. I wonder what was in the other 300,000 pages. I wonder what was in the other 3 million pages, because they had 6 million pages at the beginning of Pam Bondi's revelations. But the revelations that have emerged are simply devastating to the entire credibility of the Western political media and business class. They're all in it. It's one big dirty club, and you're not in it. And thank your lucky stars for that. For the secrets that have tumbled out of this latest dump, and I use the word advisedly, a sewage dump, the revelations that have dumped on us are truly breathtaking. We're talking about male rape. We're talking about female rape. We're talking about child rape. We're talking about child impregnation. We're talking about male sodomy of drugged victims. We're talking about president after president of the American Republic accused in FBI documents of raping men and women, boys and girls. We're talking about murder. We're talking about cannibalism. We're talking about the eating of human flesh sacrificed in satanic rituals. And it's all in the Epstein files. Now, where does one begin with a dump like that? Well, let's start with the royal families. The British royal family tonight is in ruins. Its credibility was never great, not after the way that now King Charles treated Princess Diana, the mental torture that he inflicted on her, his marriage to the equine so-called Queen Camilla. I say so-called because I was in Parliament when we were solemnly and bindingly guaranteed that Camilla, if given permission to marry Charles, would never be Queen. But routinely, she is now introduced as the Queen of England. He was bad enough. But his brother, Andrew, is now, I think, on the point of being prosecuted, certainly being prosecuted in the United States. And Keir Starmer's call on him to go and face the music in front of the American Congress seems to suggest that this British government would not oppose his extradition if he refused to go. It's that serious. More pictures, more begging letters, more promises by Andrew's ex-wife, but still house partner, so-called Fergie, Sarah Ferguson, formerly a duchess, begging for money from a convicted child sex trafficker years after his conviction, calling him the brother that she never had, the promising to Epstein of complete privacy, in quotes, in highlights, complete privacy in Buckingham Palace. She was renting out Buckingham Palace on behalf of the royal family, a convicted child sex predator, a man who these files reveal was involved in espionage everywhere from Libya to Russia to Somaliland, all over the world, to Ukraine, who was plotting the murder of Vladimir Putin. That's the man at the center of all this. And some fools like to say it's all a hoax. It's all a Democratic Party set up. There's nothing to see here. There's millions and millions and millions of pages to see here. And on virtually every page, another politician, another magnate of the capitalist system all over the world is revealed to be just about subhuman in their appetites, just about demonic in their proclivities, in their predilections. And they talk to each other about it in writing, in emails, in messages. They talk about torture. They talk about killing. They talk about murder. They talk about kids. They talk about child trafficking. They talk about the impregnation in the last few minutes of an 11-year-old girl by the former U.S. ambassador to Mexico. Wow. It's breathtaking, and it keeps on coming. It's like a torrent of sewage. It's impossible to keep track of it. It's only when you go back and start to painstakingly analyze it that you see the sheer depth of depravity, of degeneracy. It turns out I'm the only politician in the Western world that isn't cheating on his wife, that's never sodomized anybody, never dreamt for a second of the depravities involved in these Epstein files, and they're all at it. The captains of industry, generals of industry, they're now resigning as these revelations come out. The royal families of Scandinavia, one of the princesses, she might even have been the queen, I don't know, a bicycling queen, but a queen, was impregnated by Jeffrey Epstein. And then he encouraged her, which she presumably did, to have an abortion. It is unbelievable. People are going to the FBI 25 years ago and testifying to the FBI with polygraphs and the rest that Donald Trump, the President of the United States, was raping young girls and smacking them across the face because one of them protested that he hadn't worn protection. He slapped her on the face and said, "You'll have to get an abortion," and he threw money at her for the abortion. This is the man on whom they lay hands. These evangelical maniacs think he's the Son of Christ. Well, he is actually the Son of Christ. His father was called Christ. But that's the place we're in. Bill Gates, that we were told for 25 years was a paragon of humanity, We were treated to his views on every subject under the sun, is revealed to be discussing with Epstein how he can get antibiotics to sprinkle in his wife's martini because he has contracted a sexually transmitted disease from a Russian prostitute and had presumably therefore passed it on to his wife. Gates, Diamond, all these magnates, plutocrats, they were all revolving around Jeffrey Epstein. And I hope it's not anti-Semitic to make this point. Is it anti-Semitic to point out the gigantically disproportionate number of Jews and Israelis and dual Israeli nationals in this farrago of filth that is revealed in these files? I'm asking on behalf of some Pakistani friends in England who are constantly being demonized as somehow uniquely involved in these kind of sexual shenanigans. But they're not sexual shenanigans. It's a big mistake to treat them that way. These are not sexual shenanigans. These are high crimes. These are crimes that should see these men locked up forever, for the rest of their lives, if not more serious and condign punishment. These men are accused of the gravest possible crimes, including up to and including murder itself, even cannibalism itself. It's almost impossible to comprehend. But the emails are there. They were all in correspondence with Epstein. They were all taking money from Epstein. They were all having sex before the cameras of Epstein. They were all desperate to get to his sordid little island, which was sold to the United States, by the way, by Denmark, about whom, if I have time, more later.